everybody, Lycan Blades here, and in today's video, I'm in my truck. I'm driving currently. For those of you who do not know, I am currently living about 9.5 hours away from my usual home in the Houston area, but right now, I'm heading to the post office to get something pretty awesome that I've been super excited to receive. It costs a lot of money, which hurts, but I'm really excited for this. I've wanted one for a while. I have a version of it that is more budget oriented, which you will see. But I really don't know what all to expect for this. I'm hoping this video doesn't come out too bumpy because this is a very bumpy back road and this truck is not smooth at all. The gimbal on the camera should be helping at least a little bit. But I'm headed to the post office. I'm going to pick it up. I will do the unboxing on the bed of my truck because I don't have my head mount. I accidentally left it at home when I moved. So I have a new one coming in. It should be here tomorrow. I'm going to do the unboxing as best I can for this, show it off a little bit, and then when I have my head mount and I have the time, I will set up the camera on my head and do the actual flipping portion of the video. It'll still be like my first impressions, but updated, so you'll be getting a more in-depth video at the beginning than you usually would for what I do for an unboxing. So it'll be more like I spent a couple days with type video rather than a first impressions, but you'll see more of what I think about it because I'll have had more time with it. I hope you don't mind, but I'm gonna hop off here. I hope you enjoy the video. Peace. All right, welcome back. This is a few minutes later. I have the package. It is sitting in front of me. If I can get the camera to do its job, here we go. Here it is. Super excited for this. I'm going to try and set you guys up over here on my toolbox and hope that it will give you a good enough view. And then see if I can zoom in a little bit. Hopefully this will be good enough for you guys, because I'm not redoing this. But I have the box here. I'll blur this out, so I'll just flip it over this way. I'm going to be unboxing it with my Aeon. I'm not cutting into it like normal because I don't know what's in here, even though oh Lord, sitting here trying to cut the tape and I've done cut into the box already. And even while trying to be careful and just cut the tape, I've cut into the box. Let's get started with whatever this is. No clue. Let's see. KW. Oh shit, it's a quick care guide and a spacer replacement. Oh cool. I have the floating tie spacers. I hope that's in frame. I need to get down here. Yeah, I've got the floating tie spacers. Now, you've already seen, but I have an AMKW Aeon. As I said in the first part of this video, I have the more budget-oriented version, which would be my Aeon. And I love my Aeon. It is one of my favorite flippers. So, based on that, since I like more handle-biased knives, this should top this, theoretically. But this is a fancy one, so I would love to show you guys what's in here first, but it's not possible because I'd have to reset everything. I'm going to keep the knife covered and show everything in here, if possible. Oop. Hold on, let me get my finger in there. This is not easy to do. Oh, it's covered anyway, so fuck it. Fuck that white foam. There's all the insides. You got weight pins here. The bit, or the driver itself here, you got 2 bits. The COA. This is a blemish model, which if you've seen his recent post on Instagram, you will have seen this knife already. But, ooh, oh Lord. Oh fuck. The pictures do not do this thing justice at all. Holy crap. Dude, what the fuck? She definitely needs some more oil. Luckily, she hasn't been cooking in the sun like most of my knives do when I get them, because I have a P.O. box now. Oh, brother, this thing. And this thing has weight pins, so I can make it more handle biased. That is awesome. Okay, I'm gonna pick you all up, zoom out as much as I can. Here it is. Use the sun to get some of that reflection in there. That's right, this is a carbon fiber V2 Aeon. Look at that blade, dude. Which, this knife should be an absolute razor. That is what I asked for. Andrew asked me if I wanted it sharpened. Sorry, I was trying to make damn sure I wasn't thinking of the wrong name there for a second. I just woke up. But Andrew asked me if I wanted it sharpened, and I told him I wanted it as sharp as he could get it. So, shave test. Let's see. I got it facing me now. Adjust the angle. There we go. So, I'm going to set this down for a second. Arm. Knife. Not sure if the camera is picking that up, but it is shaving. Not shaving like popping the hairs off, but it is definitely shaving. It is definitely sharp. Dude, this thing is a beauty. It's super quiet too. Already hitting it on my truck and everything. Dude. I don't have words. This thing is fucking awesome, bro. Andrew, I'm gonna wait for this truck to pass. And another one. Okay, Andrew, this may be a blemish, but you have fucking outdone yourself with this. It is amazing. It is beautiful. It is amazing. Let me get the aeon here, or the peon, sorry. Aeon, peon. They're literally the same in size. The blade shapes are different, handles are different. So I have my prototype, peon. This is the V1 prototype. And now I have an actual production aeon, which I'm flipping off camera here. I don't even know if you guys can see this. Let me lower it down a little bit. I'm just over the moon. It's definitely more solid, but definitely more solid, definitely more dense. Different balance, of course, because of the different materials and the different blade shape, which this is also a different blade material than my peon, which is kind of funny. My peon technically has a better blade steel than my aeon. This is Nitro V, the same blade steel that is used to make my jawbone, while my peon is S35BN. So, yeah. I'm going to end this here, and I will do the normal recording later when I have my head mount, and I will update you guys. But so far, I'm in love with this fucking thing, dude. I do see the slight delamination he's talking about in the carbon fiber from the milling process, but dude, this thing's a beauty. Anyway, someone's pulling in, so I'm gonna head out. Appreciate you for stopping by. I'll update you in the future. Peace. Hey everybody, Liking Blades here, and today's video I'm going to be continuing where I left off just a few moments ago that you just saw from the unboxing of my aeon. I am currently behind the park where my RV is parked, or the RV I'm using. It is very loud inside, so that is why I have not been doing live streams like I originally planned to do. And this is actually the quietest spot for me to do stuff like this, because there's a major road right over here, right in front of me. And there's a train that goes by every probably hour and a half or so. So it gets really loud here. I can feel the train from inside the RV when I'm laying down. It's a lot, but I am trying. I now have my mount, as you can see. I hope this is coming in frame, because I do not want to come back out here when it is 106 degrees, which it has been for the last 4 months. Yeah, it has been very hot over here. Very, very hot. Since even before I got out here, it was up that. Okay. It was that hot even before I came out here, which is insane. I'm used to the heat, but holy shit, it is a desert out here. Like, it is worse than it is at home out here for me. But without further ado, let's get into the aeon and thank the peon for its service. It has done me well, and it is staying in my pocket. You cannot have it. Fuck off. You will never have my peon. Let's get to the aeon, which, holy crap, let me tell you, I've been flipping this thing every day since I got it. I have barely touched any other knife other than the peon, because I want to get these two back and forth to compare them. They are not comparable in price. I'm pretty sure there's a couple $100 worth of difference between them, and that's not very easy to compare, especially considering all of the customization that goes into the actual aeon that I cannot do with my peon at all. My peon, for those of you who do not know or do not remember, is the version 1 prototype. And there are no modifications on the market, even from AMKW, that are compatible with it. I cannot get the new titanium spacers. either long or short form, because they are not compatible. They're only compatible with V2 peons. And since mine is a V1 prototype, nothing will fit. The only knife I have from AMKW that is moddable and compatible with different modifications is this aeon, which maybe I will do a modification for. I have not been flipping it outside at all. This is the first time I've done this and actually tried to get some decent flips in, because carbon fiber tends to splinter when it gets damaged, and if it splinters, then it's going to be ripping my hands to shreds. It's going to be uncomfortable, it's going to be painful. I'll have carbon fiber in my hands, which is not, that is not a good time, let me tell you. But I do kind of want to try and get Timascus bottom scales. I think they're scales. I really don't know what to call them. Those are liners, spacers. So yeah, I'm pretty sure they're called scales. I don't remember. I haven't had a knife that has this many parts in a long time. I think probably since my Obsidian. Maybe my original Wraith. But yeah, that's been a hot minute now. I'm pretty sure they're called scales, so I'm gonna call them scales. But I want to get titanium Damascus ones, or Timascus, or Mokutai, for additional weight in the handles, as well as extra protection for the knife itself. I feel like that would look really nice, especially with this pattern on the actual fat carbon fiber scales. It is really nice. I love it. But enough of that. Let's talk about how this thing actually feels. How it... word vomit. What is the word I'm looking for? How it performs. How I feel about it. I'm going to be straight up honest with you. I am in love. I love this thing so goddamn much that I cannot put it into words. This thing, I will probably end up loving more than my firstborn child. There's only one thing in this world that I love more than this knife, and that is my dog. But look at this blade. Dude, the grind lines from the sander and grinding everything here, it's beautiful. He did a great job sharpening this edge. It is not quite as sharp as my edges or any of the knives that I've done, like my peon, which I took from a false live blade to a live blade. My peon is way sharper. Maybe I'll refine this after I use it for a while, but maybe I don't need to. I don't know how good the edge retention on this blade steel is, because my peon is S35VN. That's a great high quality steel, but it requires diamond plates to sharpen. It is very picky. It takes a lot more time to sharpen, but it's a lot harder, and I believe it's more corrosion resistant. Maybe, yeah, it's more corrosion resistant, if I remember right. This, however, is Nitro V, the exact same blade steel that was used to make my jawbone, which I love my jawbone. I just don't flip it for videos because it's a little bit difficult. Let's see if I can get this in the sunlight. Look at her. She is beautiful. But yeah, from what I understand, if I remember reading this properly, Nitro V isn't as hard of a steel as S35, but has better corrosion resistance and easier to sharpen. Because it's not as hard, you don't technically need to use diamond plates for sharpening. You can use, I think, just standard whetstones, but I prefer diamond plates because that's what I've taught myself on. So yeah. Which, also, back to S35, I find it funny. This is the budget-oriented version of this. This is meant to be a more wallet-friendly version of getting an aeon, as well as a different actual feel in the hand. Because this is 7075 aluminum, 7075 aluminum spacers, and an S35VN blade. I think it says it right there. Yeah, it says it right there. I hope this is coming around on camera. This one, right there, Nitro V. So this is a cheaper knife, but it has a better blade steel. This is a more expensive knife, and it has a more budget-oriented blade steel. I just find that kind of funny. But other than looks and blade steel and material and all of that, this knife is very difficult to actually talk about because they're all different. You can say the exact same thing about a fully handcrafted knife because those all have differences. There's all slight differences in balance, feel, the way things are done, because you're doing it by hand. You don't have a machine that's programmed to do it perfectly every time the exact same way. This, I don't know how AMKW does his stuff, but from my understanding, he does use CNC machines. This is not handmade. I know the blades are all hand ground, but I don't know about the handles or anything like that. I will do a tour of his facility eventually after I leave here and start going back home, whenever that is. But yeah, this thing, because there are so many different combinations that you can do with this. You can do aluminum bottoms, aluminum tops, do all aluminum, and still have your titanium liners and have it more heavy. You can do full G10. You can do G10 and aluminum. You can do carbon fiber and G10, carbon fiber and aluminum. I think there's titanium ones, which I would love, but I don't know if there's titanium or not. I haven't looked. But because of that, as well as how many different blade shapes there are, and the weight system for the spacers with pins, there are so many combinations that it's genuinely almost impossible to do a review style video on these, because you could have one and it would be completely different. It could feel completely different. It could have a different blade shape, different balance, different bias, different everything. These knives differ almost in every way that they possibly can. So, like Ethan Blade Bias, he had one in one of his videos. I think he got it from Ted for video purposes. That one will flip incredibly different from mine, unless I'm thinking he got the Peon from Ted and he bought the Aeon. I don't remember. It's one of the two, but his will feel completely different from mine. I don't have any weight pins in here yet because I don't want to break the factory tune yet. Once it starts getting looser, I'll take it apart and then I'll add the weights. But there's so, I just can't put it into words. There are so many different variants of these, so many different blade shapes, different blade materials, different handle materials, scales, everything, that I can tell you that I love this. This is exactly the best knife on the entire world, and that wouldn't mean a damn thing unless you get a knife, unless you get one, you have the exact same preferences I do, you flip like I do, and you get an exact knife like mine. It would be impossible to tell you that, which I don't even know anymore. This might be my new favorite knife of all time. Flipping wise, that is. Design wise, it is second place easily. But I mean, I actually moved the knife that I had in my display slot up on the top right for this one. So this is now in my display slot. This knife has easily surpassed everything I own in the way that I enjoy it. I think I enjoy the Aeon ever so slightly more, just because it's a faster flipper. But when I want to flip and be relaxed, not go all out the entire time I'm flipping and just freak out on everything, or flip at a controlled pace, this is what I'll be going for. This thing, on top of its sound, which it's quiet now, so. I hope you caught that. I'm gonna really try and work on the audio there so you can hear it. If you don't, then just wait for the sound test video. I hope it's audible, but it might not be. The jimping on this thing is amazing. It's soft, but it grips into your finger very well. It chaplains well. It does aerials well. It literally everything you toss at this thing, it will do flawlessly. And it took me so long to realize that, because I was afraid. I know this is insane to hear from me of all people, because everything hits concrete. I was afraid to drop and damage this thing. It's carbon fiber. I didn't want the fiber to splinter and harm me while I'm enjoying it. So I've not been flipping it outside at all. This is honestly the first time I've done anything with it outside like this. So I chose the softest ground I could find. And I'm trying really hard not to drop it. And I'm at a loss for words. It just does everything I want it to do, how I want it to do it, about 98% of the time. I have never been searching for grip on this thing. It just has good grip. It does everything I need to. I never lack grip. I never have too much grip. I can just relax and flip the way I want to, when I want to. There's a person coming. They're driving by. I'm going to stay over here for a second. Okay, they drove off. We are good. To continue. What was I saying? Oh, yes. It does just what you want. It doesn't hold you back any. It does flip a little slow compared to the Aeon, sure. But I don't know. Maybe that's a good thing. Depending on who you are, how you flip, your preferences and everything like that, this very well could be your end-all be-all Bally in this world, in this community. This could be your top-of-the-line grail. And they're so cheap. Well, not cheap as in, oh, you can get this and it's budget-oriented. This is not budget-oriented. It is cheap in the matter of what you get. You get a whole you get a Bally driver, 2 bits, weight pins, a metal CNC card, COA card, certificate of authenticity card. You get a leather or a pleather sheath. You get an amazing unboxing experience with this. And I think I paid just under $700 for this. Like, I paid less than a tsunami for this, and it flips better, it feels better, I enjoy it a hell of a lot more. It has a normal weight, I think it's around a little over 4 ounces, 4.2 maybe? Here, hold on, I'll pull up its digital COA. I'm gonna have to block all of this out though. See if I can find, where is Andrew? Wasn't that fucking long ago? There he is. It is loading. Here we go. Okay, knife certificate, knife ID. This is V2 Aeon number 35. It is default blade style 1 with grind 1. It was built in July 2026 and sold in July 2026. Nitro V blade. The blade finish is dual tone blasted stone wash flats with satin bevels. The handle, this is a blemish. Let me state that this is a blemish. I forgot to say that. A blemished frost carbon top scales. They are scales. I was right. And then blasted stone washed. So these are blasted stone washed. Titanium liners that are distressed pink to teal fade distressed. Which I don't know if you can see it, but you can see the distress. At least I can. It might not show up on camera. But yeah. Then you have zero blasted half channel titanium spacers that are the floating. So it vibrates and rings like a wind chime while you flip it. And then Alton coated steel hardware, which is the blackening. And the specs, it is 4.23 ounces. 4.23. Okay, that is just stock weight without the weight pins and everything. So, yeah. This thing is awesome. I'm gonna have to do a lot of blurring out for that, for privacy reasons. But I'll figure it out. I don't know what else I can say about this knife without sounding like it's a sponsored video, which this is not a sponsored video. This is my honest opinions and thoughts. This thing is insanity. I don't understand how he can make something like this for as low of a price as he does. Honestly, I would be more than comfortable paying $1,100, maybe even $1,200 for something like these, especially if they're the Damascus versions that he's done, which are beautiful. And holy shit, for 600, I think 50 or so I spent, something around those lines, maybe 670, I don't know. I just can't recommend anything more. There's a lot of parts, yes. It has downsides. Downsides being really dependent on who you are, just like everything else here. If you don't like sandwich knives, you're not gonna like this. If you don't like blocky knives, you're not gonna like this. This thing is pretty square, but I enjoy it. There's a bunch of modifications you can do for it and try and find one that'll be your preference. But let me iterate this one more time. Even if you're at Blade Show and you have a dozen Aeons on the table, unless they are configured in the exact same way, same blade, same liners, same scales, both top and bottom, and same spacers with weight pins or without, you will not find two Aeons that feel the exact same. That is the only way you will find an aeon that will feel the same, as if they are literally clones of each other. Which is possible, but I doubt anyone left a knife as stock as they are, like I have so far. I'm pretty sure everyone has at least modified it in a little bit. Which comes to my attention. There are clones of this. Yes, there are clones of the Aeon, and that hurts me. AMKW is a two-person operation from my understanding. It is Andrew Myers and his father. It is a father-son shop where they make these. And honestly, that reminds me a lot of Grant, Fellowship Blades. He was a very small operation, really good knives, really good value. And they started cloning him. I'm not saying clones were the reason, but pretty soon after clones started being made of his products, he shut down shop. And that broke my heart because I miss Grant and all of his knives. His designs were awesome. But now we have Andrew Myers, and shortly after these were actually released, there were clones being made. And it's sad. Smaller makers, just, people don't understand how big of an impact a clone or a company stealing their design and cloning it can do. And it's just sad. So please, do not buy any of the Aeon clones, or if there's Peon clones, do not buy those either. If you want one, please buy one from Andrew, or find one secondhand, please. I know I can't control you, I can't tell you what to do, but I can ask you to be a decent human being. Don't help clone companies do stuff like that. The amount of work that goes into these things just for the designs to be stolen, oh no. It's just heartbreaking. I almost cut into my shirt like that. But on that note, I think I've talked y'all's ears off enough about this thing. I'm losing my voice because I'm being a little louder than usual, but I'm also more enthusiastic than usual. Like, I don't know if you can tell the difference in my tone. A lot of bad shit has happened to me since I came out here, and I'm not gonna get into that. But I'm so enthusiastic because of this knife in specific. This is what is making me happy. I am happy because of this knife. So I'm glad it is making me more expressive, which I'm going to try to be from now on. I've noticed in some of my videos I sound really dull and just like I don't care, but I really do. And I've always had trouble showing that. So I will be trying to be more enthusiastic in videos and show my emotions more. I appreciate you all for stopping by. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope, if you can afford it, that you get yourself an Aeon or a Peon, because their value is damn near unmatched. This thing is beautiful, it flips beautiful, and it feels amazing. Hope you enjoyed. Once again, peace out.